we'll see the superior mediastinum, right? And already we know about the boundaries of the superior mediastinum and how it forms, right? So today we'll see what are the structures, that is, what are the structures they are present inside this superior mediastinum, okay? And how they are occupying the superior mediastinum and how they are related to each other, okay? That every detail we'll see, fine. Okay, so for that reason, what we'll do, we'll take two sections over here. One is your coronal view, okay, and another is your transverse view, right? Two sections we'll take. So, in coronal view, what we'll find here, we'll find the posterior one. We'll find the vertebra over here, right? So the vertebra body is heart shaped, right? All of you know this thing, right? So this is your vertebra. Okay, so this is vertebra is there. Suppose it is at the above to the T4, right? You can say it is at the sternal angle just above to that, no? T2 you can take, right? And here at the, this is the posterior side, and here you will find the presence of your sternum, okay, body of the sternum or the sternum will say, right? This is your sternum anteriorly and posteriorly the vertebral body. So in this way we will take the cross section, okay, but here we will take the coronal section, means the front view, okay. So in front view, whatever the vertebra is there, no issue. Then just anterior to the vertebra, we'll find a organ, okay. That organ is your esophagus, right? So this esophagus, it is just running downward at the midline, right? Then after crossing the superior mediastinum, okay, due to the presence of the heart, it is going towards the left, okay, and towards the posterior side, okay, left and somewhat posterior side, right? So here it is actually present at the posteriorly only, okay, because esophagus, it is just related to your vertebrae, right? So it is posterior structure. Then you'll see how this esophagus is running downward, then it is shifting towards the left side, because it has to pass the diaphragm, right, at the esophageal hiatus, no? So the esophageal hiatus at the level of T10, right, you'll find the esophageal hiatus, and through which the esophagus that enters into the abdominal cavity, fine. So you see, this is your esophagus. So this is the musculature of your esophagus. Okay. So this is your which section? Coronal section. No. So you just draw here this picture at the cross section. Okay. So at this point you will find there is the presence of the esophagus, and here is the lumen of the esophagus. Okay, so this is your esophagus, and you will find the lumen of the esophagus, right? And just so here actually, if you will say this is your in your body, if you will say, then this will be your right side, okay, and this will be your left side, okay. But here we will see this cross section according to the radiological view, means according to the MRI view or according to the X-ray view, okay. So in X-ray and MRI, this right will be ulta, no, it will be opposite, no. So it will be the right and it will be the left, okay. So always remember, whenever you will see the X-ray or the MRI, okay, that looks opposite, no, from your body, right? So at this point, what will find? This is your left side. So at the left side, here you'll find a duct. Okay, left to the esophagus, we will find a duct, and this duct is known as your thoracic duct. We'll have study about this thoracic duct. Just to remember, right? Just left to the esophagus, we'll find the thoracic duct. Okay. Then come to anterior part. So just anterior to the esophagus, we'll find another structure, right? So that is present over here. Okay, so this is your lumen of your trachea, no? And this trachea, it descends downward, okay, and slightly towards the right side, okay, slightly towards right side. Then at the sternal angle, it divides into two, no, main bronchus. So here you'll see the left one, okay. Here you can see the left one, and here you'll see the right one. So see here what we got, just anterior to the esophagus, we got the trachea, and this trachea, it is a little bit inclined towards the right side. Why it is inclined towards the right side, we will see in a while, right? So it is just going right side, no, just going little bit right side, and here at the sternal angle, it divides into, it bifurcates into two main bronchus, right? So this is the left bronchus, and this is your right bronchus, right? So the right bronchus, that actually bifurcates again into two at the very minimum distance, but the left bronchus, that is actually divided into the primary bronchus inside the lungs, right? But here these two, that divided before entering into the lungs. Okay, so just we'll erase whatever the structures that is present behind to this what is that, trachea, no, so that the trachea will be clear and it will be more realistic, right? So here you'll see this is your trachea, okay, and at the trachea, what you'll see the rings of cartilage, no, so these are the rings of cartilage, okay, so these are the rings of cartilage, right? So draw the same thing here at this point, right? So if you'll see this trachea, okay, in your cross section, how it looks like, right? Here you'll see there is the C-shaped organ that will be present here like this, okay. Now question arises, why it is C-shaped, right? It is D-shaped, no. Here whatever you'll see, you can see this C-shaped part, that what I am drawing here, they are made up of your cartilage, okay, they are made up of cartilage, but at the posterior part, okay, so these two ends of the C-shaped cartilage, they are connected by the smooth muscle cells, okay, or you can say the smooth muscles. So these muscles that is present over here at the posterior part of the trachea, that is known as the trachealis muscle, okay. So this muscle is your trachealis muscle, okay. So the trachea, which is actually cartilaginous, right, but that is C-shaped cartilage, posteriorly that is the deficient, and that deficient, it is connected to the two ends of the cartilage by a muscle, okay, that muscle is your trachealis muscle, okay, and due to presence of this trachealis muscle, whenever you are deglutiting or you are swallowing the food bowl, na, at that time it is not compressed by the trachea. Okay, if it will find there is a presence of cartilage, then your football may stop over here. No, that cannot go down, right? That's why there is a trachealis muscle. In that trachealis muscle that is flexible, right? That's why it helps to pass the football to downward. Clear? Then here we have drawn this trachea over here, right? And here you will see in cross section how this trachea is present, right? Then just anterior to that, what you'll find here, you will find a very important structure. Okay, this is your pulmonary trunk. In this pulmonary trunk, when it ascends upward, it is just bifurcating into two: left pulmonary artery and the right pulmonary artery, right? And that hooks around this primary bronchus, right? So just we'll erase whatever the things that is present behind to this pulmonary trunk. Okay, now here you will see that whatever the pulmonary artery is over here, so above to the pulmonary artery, there you will find the presence of a bronchus, and below to that, here you will find the bronchus. Okay, that's why above to this, what is that? Above to this bronchus, above to this pulmonary artery, whatever the bronchus is there, that is known as your apatrial bronchus. Okay, that is known as apatrial arterial bronchus. Okay, but this one is present below, no, below to the pulmonary artery. That's why this one will be known as your hypoatrial bronchus. Hypo means below. Okay, epiatrial means just above to the atrium. Okay, so this is your apatrial bronchus, and that will be, this will be your hypoatrial bronchus. Okay, so here the relation is very important. Okay, so always try to draw according to the anatomical view. Okay, so whatever I am drawing here, okay, this may not be the good diagram, but that is exactly how the structures are related to each other that I am drawing over here, right? Okay, then you'll find just anterior to that, you'll find another very important structure. No, so that is actually your ascending, sorry, okay, that is your ascending aorta, right? And this ascending aorta that actually ascends upward in this way. Okay, and that is actually going just above to this anterior to this right pulmonary artery. Okay, then it is just going down. Okay, then it goes behind this to this left pulmonary artery, right? So here you'll see the pulmonary artery, the ascending artery, it ascends upward anterior to the right pulmonary artery. Okay, then it goes towards the left side and towards the back to the left pulmonary artery. Okay, so this is your ascending aorta. Then here you'll find the arch of aorta. Then this arch of aorta that goes behind to this right, what is that, left pulmonary artery, and behind to this left principal bronchus. Okay, then that descends downward here as a descending thoracic aorta. Then that just goes behind to this esophagus, right? Why? Because it has to go towards the vertebral body, no? Because at the T12 level, the diaphragm, it has the hiatus, aortic hiatus, no? Through which the descending thoracic aorta that will descend downward, no? So here, that's why this descending thoracic aorta that is going behind to the esophagus. First it is present anterior to the, what is that, right pulmonary trunk. Then here it arches over, just here you'll find it the sternal angle, no, so just above to the sternal angle it arches, then it moves towards the left side, then it goes behind to the left pulmonary trunk, behind to the left bronchus, right, principal bronchus, then it descends downward as a descending thoracic aorta, then it goes behind to the esophagus to reach at the T12 level, because esophagus ends at the T10 level. No, just here you'll find the midline. So it is just left to the midline. You'll find the T10 vertebra, and here you'll find the esophageal hiatus at the diaphragm. No, but at the T12 level only you'll find the descending thoracic aorta opening or aortic hiatus. No, so what we'll do right now, we'll just erase whatever the structures that is present behind to this aorta. Okay, so this is your ascending aorta. Okay, then here we'll have the branches of the ascending aorta, right? Here you'll find one branch, here you'll find one branch, and here you'll find one branch, right? So what are they? You know that here you'll find there is the right, this one is the right, no, so at the right side you'll find the brachiocephalic artery, right? Then here you'll find the left common carotid artery in this position, okay, and here you'll find the, what is that, left subclavian artery. Okay, so here is the left subclavian artery, here is your left common carotid artery, here is your brachiocephalic artery. So this brachiocephalic artery that again divides into two as a left subclavian right subclavian artery and the right common carotid artery. Okay, so this, okay, sir. So we have done it at the T2 section, right? So you just think that here is your trachea, okay, and just anterior to this trachea, here we'll find the brachiocephalic trunk. At this point, we'll find the brachiocephalic trunk, and here you'll find the left common carotid artery. Just see here the brachiocephalic. We have taken a section over here, no? Okay, here at this point, no, at the above to the sternal angle, no. So sternal angle is present at the T4. So you have taken the T2. So this pulmonary trunk, it will not come over here, no. Here we'll find the arch of aorta will also not come. We'll take this section. So here we'll find this one. This section is your brachiocephalic, okay, trunk. Here the brachiocephalic trunk. Then here we'll find the left common carotid artery. So left common carotid artery, and here we'll find the left subclavian artery. Okay, so at this point we'll find the left subclavian artery. Clear? Then just anterior to this, all these structures, we'll find another structure, that is the vein. Okay, but before going to the vein, we have to see the other structures that is present over here. No, that is main, that is the nerves over here. No, so what are the nerves? As I have already told you, at this point you will find the left vagus nerve, right? So this left vagus nerve that descends downward, okay, descends downward in between your, what is that, your left common carotid artery and the left subclavian artery, right? Then it descends downward up to the, what is that, your arch of aorta, okay, and at this arch of aorta, here you will find the ductus arteriosus over here, okay. In infants or in fetus, but it right now it makes your ligamentum arteriosum, right? So this vagus nerve, okay, this is your left vagus. Okay, so this left vagus, it descends downward and near the arch of aorta, okay, it gives a branch which hooks around the arch of aorta, right? Then it ascends upward, and that ascends in between your, what is that, trachea and the left common carotid artery to upward. No, so this nerve will be your left recurrent laryngeal nerve. Okay, this is your left recurrent laryngeal nerve. Okay, then this vagus nerve that will go behind to this left pulmonary trunk. Okay, then that will descend downward. Okay, descend downward anterior to this descending thoracic aorta, and it will come anterior to the esophagus. Okay, then will come again here. Okay, so this is your left vagus nerve. Okay, but the right vagus nerve that actually descends downward in between your, what is that, subclavian artery and the right common carotid artery. Okay, then here it actually, when it descends downward, it is again hooks around this subclavian artery. Okay, and this subclavian what is that, this right vagus nerve, it descends downward in between the right subclavian and the right common carotid artery to downward. Then this nerve, it hooks around the subclavian artery, then it ascends upward in between the trachea and the right common carotid artery. Okay, so this is your right recurrent laryngeal nerve, and this is your left recurrent laryngeal nerve. Okay, so two nerves you'll find over here. Then this nerve, it descends downward. It goes backward. No, it goes backward behind to this what is this one? Trachea, then bronchus. Okay, then it will go behind to this right pulmonary trunk, behind to this hypoatrium. Okay, then it is going downward. Okay, then it will appear again here at the esophagus, right? And at this esophagus, it makes the plexus. Okay, and that plexus is your esophageal plexus. Okay, at this point, at the root of the lungs, okay, here we'll find also the root of lung, here we'll find the root of lungs. So at the root of lungs, that makes the plexus over here. Okay, and here they are known as the pulmonary plexus. Okay, so the vagus nerve that makes two plexus, one is at the root of the lungs, that is known as your pulmonary plexus. Pulmonary plexus, and at the anterior to the esophagus, okay, that will be your esophageal plexus. Okay, so two plexus they forms over there, right? Now come to anterior structure. Okay, so the anterior structure, what is that? That is the again one nerve. Okay, so that nerve I will draw in another section, in another color, right? So before that, we should proceed here to this cross section, right? So the vagus nerve that will be present here at the right vagus nerve, that will be present over here. Okay, we have taken this section. So here we'll find the right vagus nerve. Okay, but here the left vagus nerve that will be present, what is that, in between the left common carotid artery and the left subclavian artery, right? So here you will find the nerve. Okay, this is your, what is that, left vagus nerve. Okay, So the left vagus nerve that is present in between the left common carotid artery and the left subclavian artery. Okay, and the right one, it is present just side to the trachea. That's why I have drawn here. Okay, so like that you will find another nerve that will descend downward. Okay, at the left common carotid artery. This is one nerve. Okay, so this nerve is the phrenic nerve. Okay, and that phrenic nerve that is coming anterior to this left common carotid artery. Okay, then it descends downward anterior to the arch of aorta, anterior to the pulmonary trunk and the left pulmonary artery. Okay, then it descends downward and goes towards the diaphragm. Right, like that. At the brachiocephalic trunk, here you will find another nerve, that is the right phrenic nerve. That right phrenic nerve, it descends downward. It is coming from C3 to C5. No, then it descends downward and anterior to the right brachiocephalic trunk. Okay, then it descends downward. It is coming anterior relation to the lungs, root of the lungs. Then it descends downward and goes towards the diaphragm. Right, that means here if you will mention here the right phrenic nerve, that will be here. No, just side to the brachiocephalic trunk. Okay, side to the brachiocephalic trunk. So here we will draw the right phrenic nerve. Okay, and as you know that this left phrenic nerve, that is just side to the left common carotid artery anteriorly. No, so here is the left common carotid artery and here is the anterior. No, so at this point you will find the left phrenic artery. Okay, so this is your right phrenic artery and here you will find the left phrenic artery. Clear? Then just anterior to that you will find another structure. What is that? At this point you will find there is the subclavian, what is that, artery, subclavian vein, and this subclavian vein, it receives also the blood here, no, from the this thing, your internal jugular vein. Right, so just I am drawing here the internal jugular vein. Okay, so this internal jugular vein and here the subclavian vein, they united together. Okay, and they makes here the trunk over here. No, so this is your brachiocephalic vein. Okay, and this brachiocephalic vein, it is just coming towards the right side, and here you will find that there is the presence of your, what is this one? This one is the left internal jugular. So here you will find the right internal jugular, and here you will find the, what is that, right subclavian vein. Okay, so the right subclavian vein and the internal jugular vein, they will just unite together and they will form here the right brachiocephalic trunk. Okay, so this is your right brachiocephalic trunk and this is your left brachiocephalic trunk. They will just unite together and they will form here the superior vena cava. Okay, so here you will find the presence of your superior vena cava. Right, so we'll just erase the things which is just behind to this brachiocephalic trunk and to okay, now here you can see this is your internal jugular vein, right internal jugular vein. This is your subclavian vein. Okay, both they will unite and they will form here the right brachiocephalic trunk, which is very small than the left one. No, because left one it has to cross all these structures and come towards the right side. No, because the superior vena cava, it is present at the right side. Okay, and here you'll find the internal jugular vein. Okay, left internal jugular vein, and here you'll find the left subclavian vein. Okay, they'll just come forward and they will make here the left brachiocephalic vein, here is the right brachiocephalic vein, and they both united together, and here they will form the inferior, superior vena cava. Okay, so you just draw this thing over here, that from the left side, here we have taken this section, no? So here you'll find the section of your, what is that, your left brachiocephalic vein. Okay, then here it makes something dilated over here because of this right brachiocephalic vein. Okay, and that forms here the inferior vena cava. Okay, so this structure will be present over here. Okay, so this is your left brachiocephalic vein, and this is your right brachiocephalic vein. Okay, just this section we have taken. Okay, so this is the thing. Okay. Then just anterior to that, whatever it is present, that is the presence of your, what is that, thymus. No, here you'll find the presence of the thymus. Thymus is a gland, no, which actually makes the immunity system of your body. Okay, so just anterior to that you will find the sternum. Okay, so this is the things, whatever you will find, this is your sternum, right? So what are the things we got? Anteriorly we got the sternum, manubrium sternum. Okay, then just posterior to that we found the thymus. Okay, then just posterior to that you'll find the great veins. They are the right brachiocephalic vein and the left brachiocephalic vein. Okay, and just posterior to that we will find here the brachiocephalic trunk, the right phrenic nerve. Here you'll find the left common carotid artery. Okay, and the left phrenic nerve. Then here you'll find the left subclavian artery. Okay, and in between this left subclavian and left common carotid you'll find the left vagus nerve. Okay, and just behind to this also you'll find a nerve, that is the recurrent laryngeal nerve. No, here this recurrent laryngeal nerve. Okay, that will be present just behind to this left subclavian artery. Okay, then here you'll find the trachea. Okay, behind to the arterial system we'll find the trachea, and behind to the trachea we'll find the esophagus, and behind to the esophagus you'll find the, okay, I have drawn a wrong thing over here. No, what is that? What is that? Who can say? Here is your vertebral body. No, vertebral body is heart shape posteriorly. No, it is not anteriorly heart shape. It's a vertebral body. Okay, which one? At the T2 to T3 you can say. T2 or T3. Right? This is a vertebral body. Clear? The vertebral body. So, but another thing what we'll find, the side to the vertebral body will find another, that is the sympathetic chain. No, you will find the nerve of, okay, nerve plexus. No, they are the sympathetic chains. Okay, so and just side to this sympathetic chain and everything, here you will find the presence of your, what is that, the root of the lungs over here. Okay, so this is your lungs, presence of your lungs. Okay, so here also you'll find right. So this is your right lung and this is your left lung. Okay, now here you can see, if you see the relation of the lungs over here, you can see that anterior relation is your phrenic nerve, posterior relation is your vagus nerve. Here also anteriorly the phrenic nerve, posteriorly vagus nerve. Okay, and most anteriorly you'll find this what is that, brachiocephalic vein, and here is your thymus, right? So this is the coronal section view, and this is the transverse section view.